नमः सर्वेभ्यः येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नत्वा सरस्वतीं देवीं शुद्धां गुण्यां करोम्यहं पाणिनीयप्रवेशाय लघुसिद्धान्तकौमुदीम्। अग्रिमं सूत्रमस्ति ऊकालोज्ह्रस्वदीर्घप्लुतः। सरलं सूत्रं सर्वैः प्रायेण ज्ञायते. So basically the four sutras in sequence: ऊकालोज्ह्रस्वदीर्घप्लुतः, उच्चैरुदात्तः, नीचैरनुदात्तः, समाहारः, स्वरितः. So ऊकालोज्ह्रस्वदीर्घप्लुतः इत्यनेन किं भवति? अच् इति वर्णस्य ह्रस्व दीर्घ प्लुत इति संज्ञाः दीयन्ते. Some ach is called ह्रस्व, some ach is called dirgha, and some ach is called pluta. Uchchairudattah gives one more samnya, udatta. Nichairanudаттah gives another samnya, anudatta. Samaharah swaritah gives another samnya, swarita. So basically, samnya prakaranam prachalat asti. Lots of samnyas are being discussed. प्रारभामहे। ऊकालोज्ह्रस्व दीर्घप्लुतः पदच्छेदः कथम्?
ऊकालः
अच् ह्रस्व दीर्घप्लुतः।
कति पदानि?
अच् ह्रस्व दीर्घप्लुतः एकमेव पदम्।
पञ्चपदानि खलु?
ऊकालः
ऊकालः इति एकं पदम्। एनी क्वेश्चन्स् अबौट् दैट्? नो। ऊकालः इति एकं पदम्, अच् इति अपरं पदम्, ह्रस्व दीर्घ व्हाट इज अ पदम्?
ह्रस्व दीर्घ प्लुताः एकं पदम्।
एतत्तु समाहारद्वन्द्व
इति नास्ति। द्वन्द्व इति भासते। करेक्ट, वेरी नाइस। सो प्लुताः इति नास्ति, ह्रस्व दीर्घ प्लुतः। सो पदत्रयात्मकं सूत्रम् ऊकालः अच् ह्रस्व दीर्घ प्लुतः। Extremely weirdly composed sutram. I'm going to talk about it in details. Before that, कथम अस्य सूत्रस्य निर्माणं कृतमस्ति? कः कः सन्धिः अत्र कृतः दृश्यते? ऊकालः तथा अच् किं कृतमस्ति? विसर्गसन्धिः इति सामान्य भाषायां सूत्रस्य आधारेण कथं वदामः? ऊकालस् इत्यत्र स प्रत्ययः अस्ति, ससजुषो रुः इति तस्य ऋत्वं भवति। रु इत्यस्य उकारः अ प्लस उ गिव्स ओ,
अनन्तरं गुणसन्धि,
and o plus a gives o. So many sandhis in the sequence. Ukalaha, acha, and hrasva dirgha plutah. Can somebody explain what is happening? Purvasavarna. Kim sutram? Very good. Jhayo honyatarasyaam. Katham bhavati? Purvavarnah kaha asti?
इदानीं जकारः अच् अस्ति, जस्त्वं भवति, जकारः अस्ति, अनन्तरं हकार अस्ति, हकार च वर्गीय चतुर्थ वर्णस्य आदेशः भवति हकारस्य स्थाने।
चतुर्थः is because of purva savarna. So you have 5 candidates, but the fourth one turns out to be the best match. So चतुर्थस्य ग्रहणं भवति। परन्तु तत्र मम कश्चन संशयः अस्ति। अच् इत्यस्य अज इति कथं भवति?
तत्र अनन्तरं हकार अस्ति खलु? न, जलां जशोन्ते।
पदान्ते विद्यमानस्य चकारस्य झलां जशोन्ते इति जष्ट्वं भवति। अनन्तरं किम् अस्ति तस्य चिन्तनं मास्तु। The ch is at the end of a pada, it becomes j. Okay. Let's take a similar example. Anantaram kimapi bhavet. So that is the point. You should never think what is afterwards.
अनन्तरं अकारवर्णः अस्ति, अतः
पुनः चर्त्वं न भवति। सम्यक्. Now look at this. Instead of acha, if I say vach, vachah harihi iti samasah yadi maya kartavyah. So what would be the result?
Vaghari.
Very good. Vaghari. What is happening? How come that g came over there?
Chohokuhu or kohochuhu.
Why not chohokuhu here? Acha plus hrasva, agrasva. You see the similarity? Vach plus Hari, same letters, Ch and H. Vaghari. Ach plus Rasva, Agrasva. What is happening?
Pratipadika is actually watch in
No,
watch.
Pratipadika is Chakaranta. Vach iti Chakaranta Pratipadika. If the
Watch.
Pratipadika means Vak, how can the forms be Vacha, Vache, Vachaha? The Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami forms are Vacha, Vache, Vachaha, Vachi, Vacham, Vacho.
Yeah.
Right? So Pratipadika means Vach. So see the similarity, and this question should have come to you while you were studying this. Or maybe you studied this much earlier and then you studied the Sandhis. So maybe that's acceptable. But now think about it. Vach plus Harihi becomes Vagharihi. Ach plus Hrasva should become Agrasva.
प्रथमा विभक्ति रूपं तु वाक् नो चेत् वाग् अस्ति खलु.
Correct. So ach अस्य प्रथमा विभक्ति रूपं किम् अस्ति?
अच् एव खलु.
अच् एव अस्ति, तदेव सूत्रे प्रयुक्तं. सूत्रे अच् इत्यस्य प्रथमा विभक्ति रूपम् अच् इत्येव प्रयुक्तं. So then that's the second question. Why is so then that leads to another question. Vach ityasya vag iti bhavati, tvach ityasya kim bhavati? Vak iti bhavati, tarhi ach ityasya ag iti kimartham na bhavati? This is the first line of Mahabhashyam in Vruddhiradaich. Forget about Ukaloj Rasvadirgha Plutaha. In Vruddhiradaich, it should be Vruddhiradaik. So Vruddhiradaik iti sutram bhave. The very first sutra of Ashtadhyay is wrong. Is what Bhashyakara starts with. Katham choho puhu iti kutvam na bhavati. You get what I'm saying? We are asking this question much later in the sequence, but it should be asked right in the first sutram. Vruddhirada is the Bhashya starts exactly with this question. The very first sentence of the very first sutram, Kutvam kasmat na bhavati. Okay? And what is the answer? Bhatvat. He says it's not pada at all. It is a bha samnya. And all this choho puhu business and Jalan Jashunte is for the pada samnya. This is a bha samnya. People have studied bha or forgotten. Okay, so what is bha? What is bha? Look at this. That I know, but what does it? What?
असर्वनामस्थाने
वदतु. असर्वनामस्थाने यकारादिप्रत्ययः अस्ति, नो चेत् अजादिप्रत्ययः अस्ति, तर्हि तत्र भ इति संज्ञा भवति. The bha samnya will block the pada samnya. Why does it block the pada samnya? They are in the eka samnyadhikara, akadara deka samnya. So bha samnya blocks the pada samnya. As soon as you get a bha samnya, no further question of kutva is going to come. Clear? Yes or no?
कृपया पुनः एकवारं वदतु.
किमुक्तं मया? भ इति संज्ञा भवति इति तत्र भाष्यकारेण स्पष्टीकरणं दत्तमस्ति. Once the bha samnya happens, the pada samnya will be removed automatically because they are in the eka samnyadhikara, akadara deka samnya. Either it will be a bha samnya or it will be a pada samnya. If ach becomes bha samnyaka, then choho kuhu is not applicable because that particular sutram is for the jhali padante. Choho kuhu, if you do not know, is applicable only for jhali padante, either a jhal letter or a padanta. Choho kuhu. There is a padasya adhikara and we say jhali varne, jhal varne pare or padante. The Kaumudi or Kashika, both of them will say jhali padante cha. So if the cha letter is occurring at the end of the pada, or if there is a jhal letter in front, then it will get converted to ka. If it is a bha samnyaka, the choho kuhu sutram is not applicable. Clear? Now the question is, how is this bha samnyaka? I mean, yachi bham sutram says there should be yakaradi pratyaya or ajadi pratyaya, but if vruddhiradaich, There is no cha present, there is no pratyaya in front of it at all. It's just a simple su pratyaya which is gone. So what, how can it even be a bhasamnyaka? So the answer is that there is yet another sutra in the bhasamnya prakaranam. If you see yachibham tasau matvarthe ayasmayadini chandasi. This ayasmayadini chandasi, people have memorized this part. Siti cha swadishva sarvanama sthane yachibham tasau matvarthe ayasmayadini chandasi. So this pada and bha section starts at suptingantam padam and it runs for 6 sutras. Suptingantam padam nakye siti cha swadishva sarvanama sthane yachibham tasau matvarthe ayasmayadini chandasi. The last sutram, Ayasmayadini Chandasi, says that Ayasmaya and other words are to be considered valid in the Vedas. The Sutra Patha is considered equivalent to a Veda. Therefore, the words like Ayasmaya and others, which consists of a word called Acha, is considered valid in case of the Sutra Patha. I think I might have given the example of Acha also. So Chandovat Sutrani Bhavanti. The sutras are like the Vedas. Chandovat Sutrani Bhavanti iti vachanam asti. Anena vachanena अष्टाध्याय्याः सूत्राणि अपि वेदसदृशानि स्वीक्रियन्ते. अतः अयस्मयादीनि छन्दसि इति सूत्रस्य प्रयोगः अष्टाध्याय्याः सूत्राणां विषये अपि भवितुमर्हति. Now what is happening is that it's not as simple as it looks like. What this particular sutra says is that words in the ayasmayadi gana can be treated as bha samyaka when you want them and can be treated as pada samyaka when you want them. You can change your mind randomly. If the prayoga wants it to be a bha samyaka, you use it as a bha samyaka. If the prayoga wants it as a pada samyaka, you use it as a pada samyaka. So ayasmayadini chandasi इति सूत्रस्य प्रयोगः वृद्धिरादैच् इत्यत्र क्रियते. अष्टाध्याय्याः प्रथमं सूत्रं वृद्धिरादैच् इत्यत्र पदान्ते चकारः अस्ति. अस्य चोः कुः इति कुत्वं भवितुम् अर्हति, प्राप्नोति, परन्तु इदं सूत्रं वृद्धिरादैच् इति सूत्रं नो चेत् अत्र विद्यमानः अच् इति अंशः अयस्मयादीनि गणे स्वीक्रियते. अयस्मयादीनि छन्दसि इत्यस्मिन् सूत्रे स्वीक्रियते. अतः कुत्वस्य समये पदसंज्ञायाः बाधः भवति, कुत्वं निषिध्यते. So we don't get the kutva. Therefore ach remains as it is. Whether there is a jhal letter in front, whether there is it is at the padanta and so on, by considering it as a member of ayasmayadi gana, ach retains its validity, does not get converted to akka. Clear? Any questions on this?
अयस्मादिगणः किम् अस्ति महोदय?
It's a list of words. There is not given over here. It's basically a list of words. That's it.
किन्तु किमपि तत्र किम्
Ayasmaya iti ekam udharanam. Rukwata iti another example. So there are two examples that commentaries have talked about.
कोऽपि नियमः वा नास्ति वा? किमपि नास्ति.
Ayasmayadis is a list of words which have a certain characteristics. So basically these words should be considered as pada or bha depending on the prayoga, is all that it says. You cannot do that for the words like twach or vach. Words like twach and vach have to be considered as pada. If twach plus su, it becomes a pada. Because it becomes a pada, choho kuhu and then jhalan jashonte and so on, everything should act. But for the words of ayasmayadi gana, where you have acha as one of the members, these words can be considered as bha if you need. These words can be considered as pada if you need them. अतः अत्र किं भवति? अच प्लस ह्रस्व इत्यत्र अच इत्यस्य चोः कुः इति परिवर्तनं न क्रियते, तत्र भ संज्ञा अस्ति इति स्वीक्रियते. परन्तु अच इत्यस्य झलाञ्जशोन्त इति परिवर्तनम् अवश्यं क्रियते, तत्र पदसंज्ञा अस्ति इति स्वीक्रियते. So same word is being treated as bhasamnyaka for avoiding putva. Same word is considered as padasamnyaka for enabling jashtva. This kind of weird dynamism is acceptable because the word is considered as a part of ayasmayadigana, is what the bhashyakara clarifies. So he says, Kutvam kasmat na bhavati bhatvat katham bhasamya ayasmayadini chandasi. छन्दसि इति उच्यते. सूत्राणि छन्दः अस्ति वा सूत्राणि? Are sutras like Vedas? Chandovat sutrani bhavanti. See, it's very easy to understand the bhasha, isn't it? Chandovat sutrani bhavanti. The sutras are like the chandas. Then he says, if it is a bhasamnya, when you pronounce the two sutras consecutively, vruddhiradai jadengunaha, so then jashtva should not happen. Yadi bhasamnya vruddhiradai jadengunaha iti jashtvam na prapnoti. Ubhay samnyani api chandamsi drishyante. You can treat them as bha whenever you want. You can treat them as pada whenever you want. Is basically hand waving. We don't want a certain karya and we want some other karya, so we put that in ayasmayadi gana. We don't know what Panini meant over there. Maybe Panini treated ach as a special candidate because he does not want to confuse us. So he prefers not to do all these karyas and keeps it as vruddhiradich. We have
This
not even
ayas-
started the sutram. So let's, yes.
This gana is not in the Ganapata, right? Like ayasma.
No, I don't
Maya.
think it is there in the Ganapatha. Let's see. No, it's not there in the Gana. No, ayasmayadini is 1-4. No, it's not there in Ganapatha. Because it's only for the Vaidika purposes. It's not like you need to use that words and create a certain form or something. It's only for the Vedic purposes. Is everybody clear why this is not Kutva but still Jashtva? This weirdness is because of Ayasmayadi Gana. Okay? So Ukalaha Ach becomes Aj. ह्रस्व दीर्घ प्लुतः becomes झ्रस्व दीर्घ प्लुतः झयोहोन्यतरस्याम् इति सूत्रम्. अस्मिन् सूत्रे त्रीणि पदानि उकालः अच् and ह्रस्व दीर्घ प्लुतः. किमुद्देश्यम्?
Rasvadirgapluta.
No, that is vidheya. It is being mandated. It is being commanded. कस्य विधानं कृतमस्ति? ह्रस्वस्य विधानं कृतमस्ति. ह्रस्व is the samnya that is being told. Dirgha is the samnya that is being told. Pluta is the samnya that is being told. So it is vidheya.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
I think I.
Ach is the uddeshya. Ach is an entity that is already known. Remember this, entity that is already known is uddeshya. Entity that newly is taught is vidheya. So entity that is already known is acha. That acha is being told to be hrasva or dirgha or pluta. What is ukalaha then? Visheshanam. So ukalaha iti visheshanam. All the three words are in the prathama vibhakti. Understand this. Ukalaha prathama ekvachanam. Acha prathama ekvachanam. Rasva dirgha plutaha prathama ekvachanam. So rasva dirgha plutaha. Kaha swadvandva samasah? Do not tell. Itaretara dvandva. Itaretara dvandva se ekam udaharanam. Give me one example of itaretara
Rama
dvandva.
Lakshmanau.
Rama Lakshmanau. What vachana is there?
Dvivachana.
Give an
Samahara
example.
dvandva.
Give
Oh,
an
this is
example.
Samaharadvandva.
Samaharadvandva. Give an example of Samaharadvandva.
Panipadam.
Panipadam. Pani cha
What linga
padam.
is there?
Pani padam
Napumsakaling
tatra
bhavate. Atra
Then what is
napumsakalasthi.
So what is
Atra
this? Is there a
itra-
Napumsakalinga here?
Bahuvrihi bhaveyu.
So
Yasya
first of all,
saha.
let's go one by one, okay? Don't jump. This is not how Vyakarana is done.
Kalaha
Rasva
yasya saha iti va.
dirgha is Rasva dirgha plutaha. Is it a sama? Is it a interetara dvandva? No, because this is not bahuvachanam. It will be Rama Lakshmana Bharata Shatrugnaha. Is it a samahara dvandva? Panipadam, ahinakulam. No, because napumsaka is not there. Sa napumsakam iti sutram asti. So rasva dirgha plutaha. Okay, so what else? Bahuvrihi. Bahuvrihi should have yasya saha. So are you telling Hraswa Dirgha Pluta yasya saha? Are you talking about the letter over here? No, we are
Swaraha
not
yes.
saying.
Saha ach.
Right, but the sutram gives the samnyas. Hraswa iti samnya asti. Hraswaha bhavati iti na uchyate. This sutram gives a term called Hraswa Dirgha and Pluta. Hraswa Dirgha Plutaha ach iti bhavati. Here you cannot have a bahuvrihi because Hraswaha asti asya is not what we are saying. We are saying ach is Hraswa. Ach ityasya Hraswaha asti iti nasti. Ach itself is called Hraswa. Ach itself is called Dirgha. Ach itself is called Pluta. See, Pitam Ambaram Yasya Saha Pitambaraha. That is Anya Padartha. But here there is no Anya Padartha. Hraswa is what is being told. Dirgha is what is being told. Is Acha and Hraswa two different Padarthas? No. Acha is same as Hraswa. Acha is same as Dirgha. Acha is same as Pluta. You have some n number of achas. Some of them are being called Hraswa. Some of them are being called Pluta. Some of them are being called Dirgha. So there is no Anya Padartha over here. So there is no Bahuvrihi. What else?
Karmadhare.
Karmadharaya. So Karmadharaya needs to have a Visheshana Visheshya. Neelam cha tatutpalam Neelotpalam or Neelakamalam. So here there is no Visheshana Visheshya. It's purely Vidheya. Hraswa, Dirgha and Pluta. Three different entities have been told.
Mriganayana Mrigah iva nayanam nayane yasyaha sa
So
tadghatva.
Hraswaha iva Dirghaha yasya saha.
No. Kalaha.
So Hraswa Dirgha Plutaha is considered as a Samahara Dvandva. It has to be a Dvandva first of all, because it is just like your first choice was that it is basically a collection of words like Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna or Pani Padam. So it has to be a Dvandva. Now the question is it a Samahara Dvandva or is it a Itaretara Dvandva? In Itaretara Dvandva, individual entities retain their existence. Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. That Bahuvachanam is not there, so this is not Itaretara Dvandva. Then we ask whether it is a Samahara Dvandva. The question is Samahara Dvandva would be in Napumsaka Linga. This is in Pullinga. So technically there is a problem of having a Samahara Dvandva, but somehow we have to resolve it. So Samahara Dvandva comes closest to what we want with a little bit of problem. Understand this? It's not 100% match. But out of all your various sutras, thankfully nobody said Avye, Bhava and other. All your other samasas, the closest one is Samahara Dvandva with a little bit of problem. What problem? It should be Napumsaka, but it is Pullinga. So we say Vichitra Sutrakarasya Kritihi. Sautratvat Pullinga Nirdeshaha. It should technically be Napumsakalinga, but we cannot blame Panini. There are other places where we will blame him, not necessarily here, but we cannot blame Panini. So let's say Sautratvat Tatra Pullinga Nirdeshaha. That is how the Sudha Tika starts. Sometimes I forget we are learning Sudha Tika. That is how Sudha Tika starts. Hrasva Dirgha Plutaha iti Samahara Dvandvaha Sautram Pumstvam. Pumstvam ityukte Pullinga Nirdeshaha Sautraha asti Sutrakarena Krutaha asti Sutra Vishishtaha asti Asmabhihi Bhashayam Prayoktum na shakyate.
Here, should it be a same word or a different, three different words?
Single word. Panipadam is a single word. Samahara Dvandva results in a single word. So Hrasva Dirgha Pluta is a single word. Prathama Ekvachanam is Hrasva Dirgha Plutaha. Okay.
Sir, what was so difficult, to make it pulling Napumsakalinga? Just
If I ever create my own Sutra Patha, I promise you I'll make it Napumsakalinga. So I have no answer to that question.
basically it is not about shortening also, nothing like it, right?
Yeah. Basically, the only answer over here is that even if you see in the previous class, Adirantyena Sahita, He uses adi instead of adya and antya instead of anta. Not a big reason for that. So the only conclusion is that Panini does not pay attention to grammar when he is constructing Ashtadhyayi. So for him, grammar is the least important thing to think about when he's writing a book on grammar. So that's the only question there, and that's the only answer to this particular weirdness. So yeah, this you can see this, right? The commentaries themselves give up and say Sautram Pumstvam. It's a very simple example. Like a CEO of a company can create whatever rules he wants for the employees of the company. He is not necessarily required to obey these rules. He might say only 30 vacations per year, but he can take 500 or 300 vacations per year. Nobody is going to question him. Something like that. He is building an empire of sutras. He is a king of them. He is free to twist them whatever he wants.
And it
स्वतन्त्रे
can
च
be
स्वस्य मुनेः
What?
स्वतन्त्रे च स्वस्य मुनेः
Ha,
स्वतन्त्र
Mune,
इच्छा
exactly. Swatantra ichha munehe. So that's why we say Vichitra sutrasya gatihi or Vichitra sutrakarasya krutihi iti vadamah.
no, it can be Napumsakalingam only when we treat it as a Uddeshya Vidheya Bhava, right? So maybe he didn't think of like ach
No,
and
it is not about Uddeshya Vidheya Bhava. It is about Dvandva itself. Samahara Dvandva is in the Napumsakalinga. There is a sutram for that. He himself created it. Sa Napumsakam.
Maybe he's qualifying the
Dvandva.
kala.
Everything is okay, but the sutra says Dvandva must be Napumsakalinga. Samahara Dvandva has to. If you want to say fruit is Madhura, do you say Phalaha Madhuraha? Phala is always Phalam. You don't ask more questions on it. In the same way, Dvandva is Napumsakalingam.
No, but
Panipadam,
Mahoday, if he's
Shirogrivam.
qualifying kala,
Array, whatever it may he may want to qualify, are you allowed to randomly change the linga of a word if you're qualifying something? So, Ganeshasya Vahanam Mushakaha. So, will you say Vahanaha Mushakaha or will you say Vahanam Mushakam? You're qualifying Vahana with Mushaka, right? You should do that. You don't do it, right? In the same way, whatever are other words in the sutra, it doesn't matter. Rules are rules. Vahana is in the Napumsakalinga. Mushaka is in the Pullinga. So, Rasvadirgha Plutaha has to be Rasvadirgha Plutam, but it becomes Rasvadirgha Plutaha. Kimartham iti chet Sautram ityeva uttaram. Okay?
Mahodaya, in Samahara Dvandva, we usually do the samasa for only two padams, right? Or
Pani cha
can we?
padam cha anayoho samahara. Correct.
But
No, but
here,
it's not a rule. I mean, it doesn't necessarily give a rule. Char the dvandva. In fact, dvandva samasa is one of the samasas where you can have multiple entities together. So the sutra is just char the dvandva. Cha has to be there in the sentence, or is has to be implied in the meaning. So rasvasha dirghasha plutascha anayoho samaharaha rasva dirgha plutaha pumstvam sautratvat iti vadamah. Clear? Moving ahead, the next word, acha. Ukalaha acha hrasva dirgha plutaha. What is acha?
all the prabhedas of each varna.
Ha. Why? Is it vidhiyamana or avidhiyamana?
avidhiyamana.
Avidhiyamana.
अत्र तु संज्ञा अस्ति.
Very good. So what is vidhiyamana? That is the reason where it becomes important to understand uddeshya vidheya bhava. Acha is not vidheya, ach is uddeshya. Even if it is in prathama, it is uddeshya. It is not vidhiyamana. So anudit savarnasya cha apratyayah avidhiyamanah ach iti varnah sarvesham savarnanam grahanam karoti. So a will include a and a, which will now be called Hasva, Dirgha and Pluta respectively. Same for E, U, and so on. Clear?
Mahodaya, for the previous question, we cannot make the Samahara Dvandva for anything, right? Like Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrugnaha, we don't make a Samahara Dvandva for that because there is no Samaharartha. Like here, it actually refer to independent entities, right? So I'm not sure when do we make that Samahara Dvandva.
So Samahara Dvandva technically can be done anywhere. There is no rule where you can do Samahara Dvandva and where you cannot do Samahara Dvandva. So I also had this kind of confusion for many years actually, that Samahara Dvandva can only be done on certain cases, but Samahara Dvandva can be done based on the Prayoga when you want to consider that as a group. Now Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, you don't have the Prayogas for a Samahara Dvandva. But here Panipadam, you have example for a Samahara Dvandva. Or for Rasva Dirgha Plutaha, you are treating that whole thing as a group. You are not treating it as individual samnyas, you are treating it as a group of three samnyas, which will obviously contain individual samnyas. That is one of the reasons, in fact, why I told that this is a very weirdly constructed sutram. A samnya, three samnyas are being combined together, and similar weirdness you will see in Ukala also. I'll come to that. So technically, it should be three different samnyas, but somehow he does a samahara over there. You're right, it does not perfectly fit in this sutram, but he has done it. Okay. Okay, so Acha consists of all the Prabhedas, Rasva, Dirgha, Pluta, and so on, and those will now be called Rasva, Dirgha, Pluta. Let's come to the more interesting part. Ukalaha. Everybody has memorized, isn't it? Vam kalo iva kalaha yasya saha achkramena Rasva, Dirgha, Pluta samyasyat. What does all this mean? What is Ukalaha?
Matra kalaha iti. Ekamatra,
Okay.
Dvimatra, Trimatra kalaha. Respectively, Hrasva Dirgha Pluta.
Okay. You almost captured the whole meaning of the sutram. Lots of hanging pieces in that. Let's go slowly one by one. First of all, this word ukalaha. Let's go in the sutra itself. Ukalaha. What kind of samasa is this? Is this Shashti Tatpurusha samasa? U ityasya kalaha. Ukalaha.
Yeah, that's why it is Vaha kalaha.
Okay. So, u ityasya kalaha, ukalaha iti yadi vadamaha. Shashti Satpurusha, Sitayaha patihi, Sita patihi, u ityasya kalaha. Now, I am purposely avoiding the Shashti Ekvachanam because it will be difficult. Vaha kalaha. Let's say u ityasya kalaha. Tarhi, that kala will be the meaning of the word ukala. Tatpurusha is Uttara Pada Pradhana, more so Shashti Tatpurusha. Sitayaha patihi is not Sita. It is Rama, Sitapati, Rama. So Ukalaha with the Shashti Tatpurusha interpretation will be Kala itself. How can Kala is being called Acha? Ukala is the Visheshanam of Acha. So Ukala should translate to a Varna rather than a Kala. If you treat it as a Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa, it will be U ityasya kalaha. So the result will be a kala. You cannot directly map it to a varna. Ukalaha varnaha iti tatra nirdeshaha asti. Ukalaha ach rasva dirgha plutha. All the three words are in prathama ekvachanam. All of them refer to a varna. Ukalaha is a varna. Acha is a varna. Rasva dirgha plutha is a varna. Therefore, you do not see a perfect fit for a Tatpurusha Samasa. It should technically be a Bahuvrihi Samasa because Anya Padartha is being told. Bahuvrihi is Anya Padartha Pradhana. We are not talking about U and we are not talking about Kala. We are talking about a third entity called Varna. Pitam Ambaram Yasya Saha Pitambaraha. A third entity called Vishnu. So there is a Bahuvrihi Samasa. Same logic over here. Ukalaha turns out to be Bahuvrihi Samasa. So what kind of Bahuvrihi Samasa? Ukalaha yasya saha iti vaktum shakyate. Okay? Ukalaha yasya saha. Pitam ambaram yasya saha. Ukalaha yasya saha varnaha. But what this business is Ukalaha? U is not a kala. When you say Pitam ambaram, the ambara is Pita. But when you say U kalaha yasya saha, it is not U which is kala. U is a letter or it is a pronunciation. So then you have to go one step ahead and you have to say this is Uttara Pada Lopi Samasa, a very specific type of Bahuvrihi Samasa. Let's take a few examples first. How is Gajanana being classified? Gaja iva ananam iti nasti. Gajasya ananam iti nasti. So Gajasya ananam will be Tatpurusha, that's not correct. Gajam ananam yasya saha, that is also not correct. That would be Bahuvrihi. So we say Gajasya ananam iva ananam yasya saha. One whose head is like the head of an elephant. Ushtra mukhaha. Ushtrasya mukham iva mukham yasya saha. Surya prabha. Suryasya prabha iva prabha yasyaha sa. In the same way, ukalaha, u ityasya kalaha iva kalaha yasya saha. U has a certain kala. When you pronounce u, some kala is required. An entity with a mapping or a matching kala will be called Hrasva Dirgha Plita. U ityasya kalaha iva kalaha yasya saha. Clear? So this is a special type of Bahuvrihi called as Uttarapadalopi Bahuvrihi. Bhashyakara starts with this question. He says, Ayuktaha ayam nirdeshaha. This is a very weirdly constructed sutram. Why? Because it should be Ukala Kala is what he says. Ukala would be the Kala and then Saha Kalaha yasya saha. So he says, U ittenena Kalaha nirdishyate. U iti varnaha asti. So how can a varna and kala be resonating with each other, mean the same thing? So u ityanena kalaha nirdishyate, u ityanena varna ayuktam varnasya kalena saha samanadhikaranyam. A takes 2 minutes means what? Pronunciation of a takes 2 minutes. Right? So वर्णस्य कालेन सह सामानाधिकरण्यं सरलरूपेण न संभवति. अतः कथं निर्देशः कर्तव्यः? उकालकाल is what he says. What is उकालकाल? उकालः कालः यस्य सः. So he says use words like gajananana. Gajasya anana iva anana yasya saha gajananana. And the answer given by Bhashyakara is this is a samasa called Uttarapadalopi samasa, where out of the 2 ananas, 1 anana is being removed. So we say Gajanana, we say Ushtra-mukha, we say Surya Prabha. In the same way, we say Ukala. So the Vigraha Vakya for Gajanana has 2 ananas. Gajasya ananam iva ananam yasya. Ushtra-mukha has 2 mukhas. Ushtrasya mukham iva mukham yasya. In the same way, ukala will have 2 kalas. U ityasya kalaha iva kalaha yasya. This is Uttarapadalopaha. He gives an example. Ushtra mukham iva mukham yasya kharamukha. And in the same way, evam ukala kala is ukala. U ityasya kalaha iva kalaha yasya.
Then do we need the really ach there, Mahoday? If this itself is going to give the varna, then the varna is
But the
either...
Hrasva Dirgha Pluta are not for Vyanjanas. They are for Ach only. Right?
So this is starting from the Ekamatra, Dvimatra and Trimatra only, right? That will be only
I'll come to
anyway for
that
ach.
again. You are jumping a lot of things. I'll come to that. So that's why I say this sutra is wrongly constructed, very weirdly constructed. So many confusing questions over here. I have not even uttered the word matra yet. So we are still coming to that. Just now, just understand this. U is something. You pronounce that U, whatever time is required, the same time, another letter, if that letter gets pronounced in the same time, it will be called Hrasva Dirgha Plita. Clear? Do not jump anywhere beyond this. Clear? So U is an entity that gets pronounced, whatever time is required, equivalent time, U ityasya kalaha iva kalaha. The time required for the pronunciation of U, similar kala, whosoever gets is Hrasva Dirgha Plita. Clear? Now the complications start because in this
Sir, is it also
U,
called?
go ahead.
Excuse me. Is it also called Upamana Purvapada Bahurvihi? Same, both?
It is a type of Upamana Purvapada Bahuvrihi, but they also classify it as Uttarapadalopa Bahuvrihi.
U is also some kind of Dvandva Samasaha?
What? U you're saying? Just U you're saying?
Just U.
Yeah, we are coming to that. Just U will be a dvandva. That is correct. Okay, just U will be a dvandva. U plus U plus U. They have done a dvandva of that.
Ushcha,
Okay,
ushcha, ushcha.
correct. Ushcha, ushcha, ushcha. So char the dvandva. As soon as you have cha, it will become a dvandva. Ushcha, ushcha, ushcha. Okay, how you add it up? U plus U plus U. Okay, U plus U. You do a savarna dirgham over there. It becomes U. U plus U. You do a savarna dirgham over there. Again it becomes U. Because akaha savarne dirghaha. What is a beautiful sutram? Even when a pluta gets added to a dirgha, it gives a dirgha. It's not an addition of matras. A pluta being added to a dirgha will give a dirgha. So U plus U is U. Hrasva plus dirgha is dirgha. U plus U. Dirgha plus pluta is also dirgha. So now you have U, U, U. These three respectively being mapped to Hrasva Dirgha Pluta. One Dvandva being mapped to another Dvandva. What is actually happening is the constituents of the first Dvandva are being mapped to constituents of the another Dvandva.
And we don't make it Kalaha, then it's a...
We will make it Kalaha. So Ushcha, 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 Vaha. You create an Itaretara Dvandva. Ramascha, Lakshmanascha, Bharatascha, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharataha. And then the Pratipadikam over there is Dirgha U that is used in the Bahuvrihi Samasa. So Ushcha, 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 Vaha, Tasya Kalaha iva Kalaha Yasya. So then it becomes U plus Kala. Clear? Now the question that comes over here and is very beautifully written in Bhasha. So if you get time or if you get to that maturity, you should definitely read the Bhasha of Ukaloj Hrasva Dirgha Pluta. What he says is that why are you forcing the order as U, U and U? Where Panini tells me that I'll have my own order. All possible permutations are there. I'll have U and U and U, or I'll have U and U and U, whatever you want. So all possible 6 different permutations are there. So why are you forcing me to have a specific ordering? And then he says this is a very crucial question, because if I change my ordering U, U and U, then still the result is U, but then U will be called Hasva, U will be called Dirgha, and U will be called Pluta. So as soon as you change the ordering of elements of the first samasa, different entities will start getting the names as Hrasva, Dirgha and Pluta, and the whole system will collapse. So where is the Jnapaka, or where does Panini tell me that Hrasva is U, Dirgha is U, and Pluta is U?
It is not as simple as the ayadi sandhi. So where it's av, so yatha sankhya or kramena kimapi nasti kim.
It will be yatha sankhya only. The question is, this first word is U. It consists of 3 entities. What 3 entities?
U and
Ukaraha, ukaraha, and pluta ukaraha.
So don't use the word pluta because we are defining that. You can't use the word to define itself. So you say U, U, and U. That's why I'm making these funny noises throughout the last 10 minutes. Okay, U, U, and U. My question is this. Where does Panini say that this particular U is U, U, and U? Why it is not U, U, and U?
Savarne Dirghaha itself will vary, right? Like the U plus U, you will not even say U then. If this is what is defining that, right?
That's okay. So U plus U will be U. What is the
Yeah,
problem?
then U Kalaha, how does it come? Then that question will come, right?
Right. So that is one possible way by which you are refuting one different argument. So let U be in the middle and let change the order of other two, or let U be at the end. All that you are saying is U is not in the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the Hrasva Ukaraha gets a like a Dirgha Samya. Then Akasavarne Dirgha will
No,
give
no. What is
always
Hrasva
Ukara.
Ukara gets Dirgha Samya?
No,
Basically,
I don't know how to explain it. That U
ah,
will get
ah,
Dirgha Samya. Then
okay.
the U plus Ukalaha will not fit in properly at all. So
Okay. So basically, you're saying that the U Kalaha, this U essentially should be in the middle. U should be in the
yeah.
middle.
If it is
Dot.
U is not in the middle, it does not get the Dirgha Samya. So yeah, everything. The Akasavarne Dirgha will not then have the U here. So Ukalaha cannot be made here. It will be Ukalaha or whatever
Okay.
that comes in the
Okay.
middle.
So essentially, we are relying on the sutra itself, and we are saying that in this sutram, U has been pronounced as a dirgha entity, which can be generated only by akasavarne dirgha by keeping U in the middle. Very good. One possible aspect. What about U and U? Their order can still be changed.
Yeah, that I don't. Yeah.
So good.
Mohde,
That's a good progress. In this way, what Bhashyakara does is he gives various jnapakas one after the other. He might have given Akasavarni Dirgha as one jnapak also, but he gives various jnapakas, Ato Dirgho Yai, Supicha, and so on. He picks up the sutras which have Dirgha, which have Pluta, which have Hrasva in it, and then he shows that this is the only possible ordering. Okay, very beautiful analysis that has been done over here. 1 second, Sumanji, I'll come to you. Geeta ji, you had a question here in this context.
Actually, I didn't understand what she said.
What she said, okay, Nalin, you want to explain? We are running out of time, but yeah.
Yeah. So if we take for an example, we change the order, right? Instead of U, if we take U, according to this sutra, U is going to get the Hrasva Samya, U is going to get Dirgha Samya, and U is still Pluta. That's how we'll take. So if we take this, the U is getting the Dirgha Samya. In Akasavarne Dirgha, then what will be the result? The result will be U will be the result. So here when we make the U Kalaha, we do U Kalaha because we say that because of the Akasavarne Dirgha, U plus U gives you U. But if the U only gets the Dirgha Samya, U plus U will get only U. Right? So this sutra, like U Kalaha itself, will become invalid, or anywhere else when we apply the Akasavarne Dirgha, everything should get the Ekamatra Kala. So this
Yeah, got
one.
it.
Yeah.
Got it. Mm.
Extending this argument, if U becomes at the end, then it will be called Pluta. And by Pluta Pragruhya Achinityam, you will not be able to make a sandhi of U with anybody. But you see those examples in the multiple places, even in the Ashtadhyayi, where U has undergone a sandhi. Therefore, U cannot be at the end. U needs to be somewhere else. You just now established an argument that U cannot be somewhere else. It has to be in the middle. U needs to be in the first. Therefore, U needs to be at the end. So this particular argument that we just summarized has been beautifully explained in the Bhashya with multiple jnapakas. Not just one, but multiple. Because if there is only one jnapaka like this, we can just say Sautratvat. Or we can just say Ukalaha ityasya sthane Ukalaha ityasti. Sutras are not written, they are pronounced. So let's say the people mispronounced it and it's actually Ukala. So one argument can fall by, for example, what you mentioned can fall by saying the sutra was wrongly pronounced, it is Ukala. And then that argument can. So he gives a multiple set of arguments, one over the other, and beautifully explains that this has to be a precise sequence. Clear?
Yeah, Mahodaya, can I ask something?
Yes.
Now, this argument which we are having, it is valid if we take in Kramena, if it is taken like that.
is it given anywhere here? Like it has to be taken like that, or can it be taken as a short one is taken as Hrasva, the middle one is taken as Dirgha, and the long, the extra long is taken as Pluta. Suppose it is explained like that, then the order of position doesn't matter. Is it right?
That is correct. So we say yatha sankhya manudesha samanam. So when you have samana entities, we do a yatha sankhya, that is respectively. You studied the sutram, right? Yatha sankhya manudesha samanam. So when you have three entities and three other entities, you do one by one. That is the exact thing you do iko yanachi or echo yavayavaha. So same.
Echo yavayavaha.
So u and u respectively being called with the terms Hrasva, Dirgha and Pluta. There is no word or no concept of matra anywhere in the picture over here. Now we can't keep on pronouncing it like this forever. Ooh, ooh, ooh. People think we are mad. So then we invent a concept called matra to talk about specific duration of timing. Eka matra. A matra is a unit of time. Miyate anaya iti matra. Measured by something or a unit of measurement. Miyate anaya iti matra. So a matra is a unit of measurement. We treat the matra of the short vowel u. We treat the matra of this vowel as one unit or one matra randomly. There is absolutely no standard behind it. How is 1 hour defined? 60 minutes. How is 1 minute defined? 60 seconds. How is 1 second defined? You probably vibration of quartz crystal or vibration of cesium atom or whatever. Some scientific arguments are there. But why only that? Why only those many vibrations? Why not 10 vibrations more or why not 10 vibrations less? You have to choose something random and they chose something random. Why is 1 meter a meter? Maybe some atom vibrates that much amount at some temperature and all that. Why only that? It's how it is defined. You get what I'm saying? So matra is a random unit. Do not read much into it. Matra is a random unit of measurement of pronunciation of U. Clear? And once you define that scale, you double it and triple it, and then it becomes dvimatra and trimatra. So u, if it takes say x amount of time, u is supposed to take 2 times x amount of time, and u is supposed to take 3 times x amount of time. That is ekamatra uchcharana kala or ekamatrika uchcharana kala, dvimatrika uchcharana kala and trimatrika uchcharana kala. Clear? Can you pronounce in between 1.5 matras, 1.75 matras? Of course you can. It's a time for which a vowel is being pronounced. If one matra is say 0.8 seconds, 2 matras will be 1.6 seconds, but you can always pronounce for 1.2 seconds and stop. Nobody stops you from doing that. You can always pronounce something for 1.4 seconds and stop. So it will neither be ekamatrika nor it will be dvimatrika. It will be somewhere in between. So ekamatra, dvimatra and trimatra are not the only fixed written in gold kind of places, the only possible ucharana. You can pronounce half a matra also you can pronounce for 0.3 seconds. You can pronounce whatever you want. Out of all those million possible pronunciations, we choose 3 of them because choosing all of them will screw up everything. So we choose 3 of them and call one of them as Hrasva, the double of them as Dirgha, and the triple of that is Pluta. Is this clear? And we always end up in explaining it in a reverse manner. We say Hrasvasya eka matra asti. Hrasvasya eka matra nasti. Yasya uchcharanasya eka matra asti tasya nama Hrasva. Hrasvasya eka matra asti is always reverse. Dirghasya matra doyam is reverse. Yasya varnasya uchcharanam dvimatrika kalam yavat asti. Saha dirgha samya. Clear? So the point to take over here is in the music, for example, the sa is absolutely a random frequency. Any random frequency you pick, it's called sa, and then the next sa must be the double. That's what we define as octave. That's why every musician has a different scale. You fix a sa and then next sa is double. If first is 440, second is 880. If first is 220, next is 440, whatever. And then in that scale, you fit all other notes in a geometric progression. The first is always random. In the same way, ekamatra is random. You pronounce it for 3 seconds and you call it ekamatra. I will pronounce it for 8 or 0.8 seconds and I will pronounce it as ekamatra. Doesn't matter. Once you fix that benchmark, the dvimatra and trimatra must be scaled accordingly. That is all that the sutram says. Therefore, एकमात्रिक इत्युक्ते उ इत्यस्य कालः इव कालः यस्य सः ह्रस्वः. उ इत्यस्य कालः इव कालः यस्य सः दीर्घः. उ इत्यस्य कालः इव कालः यस्य सः प्लुतः. He could have constructed this sutram in a much better way by actually telling 1, 2, and 3 instead of creating all this ooh and ooh. Clear?
Sir, but we had to fix the kala, right? Otherwise, if somebody hraswa only, if you say like then the pronunciation and all will vary.
Correct.
You have to
So
have a
then by
proper.
looking, correct. So then by looking at your teachers, by looking at the shishtas, you specify a kala. But is it 0.6 seconds or 0.62 seconds or 0.64 seconds? Is that fixed? Is it documented anywhere that it should be exactly 0.6 seconds? No. So sa, for example, there are variations
It's
in a
based on
limited
Shishta
area.
Prayoga only.
Sorry, what
That
did
is
you say? I
also
didn't hear.
no, that is also Shishta Prayoga. How the
I
from parampara
understand.
how
So
it
from
has come.
Shishta, from Parampara, you will understand that a rasva, even if you say ekamatra, it should not be pronounced as a. But when your teacher says a, do you actually get the exact amount of seconds and is it same across all the traditions and all the teachers and so on? Is highly impractical, isn't it? So
Correct.
ekamatra means, see, the fact that you want to have 2 and 3 matras ahead will somehow tell you that ekamatra is a certain, some small amount of time. But what is it exactly? Somewhere someone might have defined also. We don't know. But why is only that amount of time defined? Can't you pronounce a little more or little less than that? Of course you can pronounce. It's just some amount of time that has been fixed. So when I say random, it doesn't mean you can pronounce whatever you want, I can pronounce whatever I want. But how 1 second is random at one level? There is some standard, but why only that standard? Why only those many vibrations of that crystal? Why not 100 more, 100 less? So something has to be defined. So they have picked up something. In the same way, ekamatra can be 0.6 seconds. But if you say 0.6 and I say 0.65, both of us understand that it's still a. It doesn't make a
But
difference.
it does happen, like Narayana Sukta, that this and that. The last word gets little prolonged, even though it is a hraswa or dirgha. It
Correct.
becomes pluta almost.
Correct. So it's basically, I mean, it's probably singing style or whatever. And when you say it gets elongated, it doesn't go all the way till 3 matras or 2 matras. It gets a little prolonged. So it does happen, and this is true. So there's no hard and fast rule that it has to be this much seconds or it has to be precise amount of time and so on. Any variation in that particular area is acceptable. The variation is acceptable on the raswa. Once you accept a certain standard for Haswa, Dirgha, and Pluta are the multiples of it. They are fixed. You don't have, changes on that. Clear? So understand this analogy of music is very useful. Like once Sa is fixed, Re, Ga, Ma, everything gets fixed. Till that point, you can have 230, 220 or 225 or 230. It doesn't really matter.
We see that clearly in Tala, I think, when we do the speed, the third speed is always related to the second or second to first.
Something like, right, correct. Any comments? So let me also tell one more thing. You all know that later on in the commentary we will come to know ekarah asti tasya hrasva bhedah nasti. Ai ityasya hrasva bhedah nasti. Lukarah asti tasya dirgha bhedah nasti. Remember, you have studied all these things. A, I, O are only dirgha and pluta, and lu is not a dirgha and all that. All these are artificial restrictions put in the grammar because language is like that. Is it not possible to pronounce A with the same matra as A? Of course it is possible. In Kannada, you have a Raswa A, right? So it's definitely possible. Is it not possible to pronounce Lu with double matras? Who stops you from pronouncing that? Of course you can do that. So for example, if you go to Paniniya Shiksha, I don't know if you have studied Paniniya Shiksha, it is a book on phonetics. In Paniniya Shiksha, right in the third shloka, he says, Trishashtihi Chatushashtihi Va Varnaha. So he himself doesn't know how many Varnas are there. 63 or 64. And why is this kind of ambiguity there? Because Dirgha Lu is sometimes accepted as a Varna, sometimes not accepted as a Varna. So if Dirgha Lu gets accepted as a Varna, it becomes a 64 Varna, Chatushashtihi. If Dirgha Lu is not accepted as a Varna, it gets 63, 3shashtihi. So the lack of Dirgha Lu or the lack of Hrasva A, I, O are exactly, somebody is saying there are no prayogas, are basically the rules of the language. The language does not have Hrasva A, the language does not have Hrasva I, and therefore this has been somehow forced into grammar. It does not mean that A, I don't exist. Raswa A can exist, other languages have it. Dirgha Lu can exist. Sanskrit itself has a set of people who believe that such a word later exists. Clear? So all these restrictions are because there is no usage and not because there are some weird rules. I mean, there are people who, for example, say that A is equal to A plus E, guna. A is ekamatrika, E is ekamatrika, so A must be dvimatrika. That kind of mathematics is not correct. Why? Because then you do the same guna sandhi. A plus E is also A. So does it make A as 4 matras, A as 2 matras, and E as 2 matras? Doesn't make A as 4 matras. So that mathematics is a misnomer, is misleading. There is no mathematics anywhere. Raswa A is not in the language, so grammar doesn't allow it. Dirgha A is in the language, so grammar allows it. It is as simple as that.
I remember reading in the Vyakhyana either Balamanorama or Tattvapadini, mostly Balamanorama, how to define this matra. They have tried to go to a very great extent and try to see which is one matra or something like that. Yes. So that may not give too much scope for real variation.
Let's see here.
But still, what you say is true. That that's taken. But like you said, a kilometer is defined like this, or a second is defined like this. They try to be as scientific about this matra business also, I think.
Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, agreed.
And you cannot pronounce a vyanjana, more than the half matra or whatever, right?
So that's a very good question. Actually, let me elaborate a little on this. So can you try pronouncing k without an a?
Yeah,
For a lot of okay. You can't, right? Okay. Can you pronounce sh without an a? Try.
Yeah, sh or
Sounds like
I'm not pronouncing an a, but I'm
But
pronouncing sh for how long? So it is possible to pronounce vyanjanas with whatever
Rice is cooking.
all sorts of noises in today's class. So there are some Vyanjanas. That's why we call them as Mahapranas. The reason why we call them Mahapranas is because you can pronounce sa, you can pronounce sha, you can pronounce sha for whatever matras you want without pronouncing the swara next to it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about that when we learn Tulyasya Prayatnam Savarnam. So,
But Mahoday, sure, maybe you can pronounce. You can't pronounce the for an indefinite
that is correct.
amount of
That
time.
is correct. That is correct. So I'm not claiming for all the words or all the Vyanjanas. All that I'm saying is there are so blanket statement that Vyanjanas cannot be pronounced more than half a matra is not correct. Some Vyanjanas can be pronounced more than half a matra. Most other Vyanjanas cannot be pronounced more than half a matra. So the basic point that I was talking is this hypothetical restrictions on A, I, O are because such usages are not in the language and have nothing to do with addition or mathematics or anything over there.
Because in Tamil again, that there is a Rasva A, there is a Rasva O also.
Exactly. Even in Kannada, there is a Rasva A. In Tamil, there is Rasva A and Rasva O. So these languages have that usage. So they put it. Okay, so that's the whole point of this is don't read too much into it. If somebody says there was ancient mathematics in our granthas and so on, they are talking nonsense. It's just the usage of the language that has been hard coded or formalized into the grammar. Nothing beyond that. Okay, Nalini, you had something to contribute.
No, Mahodaya, again coming back to the same question that ukalaha, can it even represent a Vyanjana? Is that ach really needed, or ukala will always represent a achvarna only?
Again, so sure you can pronounce for howsoever matras you want. You don't want to call it as udatta, sorry, rasva, dirgha and pluta. So we need an ach letter over there.